Ha! It's me you slap like. You just slapped me. See, let me tell you something. If I tell you to get out, you start getting out. If you let the door to slap your afari head, I will not tell you sorry. Get out of my house. I don't want trouble. I need peace. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaka and this is Ami Lifestyle. In today's video, we're going to be talking about deal breakers in marriage. The reason why I want to talk about this topic is because recently I just remembered a story that this is actually something that is happening like for real, and the person in question is still in her marriage today. She has given me permission to share the story. I began to think like really thoroughly if I could take what is currently going on with her, you know, in my own marriage, and I was like, nah, that's like a big deal breaker for me. Let me just tell you guys the story, right? One day my friend called me 2 years ago, and then she told me that her husband was missing, like she's looking for her husband. This was 2 a.m. I was like, what do you mean by you're looking for your husband? Where? She was like, well, he left the house in the morning to go to work and he hasn't been home since then. Okay, have you called the office? She said yes, she had called the office, she had been to the office, she had been to his office, and he's not there. Because where he works is like, you know, different companies, you know, take floors. So she went to his floor and he wasn't in the office. Have you called his friend? She said yes, she has called his friends. None of them, you know, said that he's with them. Have you called his family? She said yes. His family also, you know, went around asking friends, asking people, asking their own family members if he's at their house, and nothing has turned up. I asked her where she was. She said she was in Yaba. I was like, what are you doing in Yaba? She said that she had been driving around the island looking for him, and she decided to drive down to Yaba to see if maybe he was going to the mainland and something happened to him on Third Mainland Bridge or something like that. She doesn't even know what to think, but all she knows is that she can't find her husband. So finally I asked her if she had tried calling his phone. She said his phone was switched off, and I was like, okay, like a text message will not make any sense right now. I really panicked, and I had to tell her that I was coming to her house, and I asked her who she was with. She said she was with one of his siblings in the car, like they've been driving around and she's just tired. And then she broke down, she was crying and all that. So I was like, you know what, I'm coming around, just go back home. I am coming to meet you at home. I want to meet you at home. So she was like, okay, no problem. And I went to meet her. I was able to get an Uber like around 3:30, 4 o'clock. It was really crazy, but I was able to like get an Uber and go meet her at home. She was distraught, she was disoriented, she was like, she doesn't know what's happened to him, and she was really scared that, you know, maybe there was a botched robbery and they had to like go with him, or maybe he's been kidnapped and the kidnappers had not even contacted the family. So we're going to go to the police, we're going to make a report, and we'll see what comes out of it. So around 7 a.m. that morning, we made our way to the police station with his family members. His mom was there with us, and his siblings, like 3 siblings, was with us. So we went to the police station and we lodged a complaint. But you guys know that for the police, it's going to take them 48 hours after someone is missing to actually start looking for the person. So we're like, okay, we're going to wait. This happened on a Friday night. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Police were like, are you sure this guy hasn't gone clubbing, or are you sure he hasn't gone to see like his girlfriend or something like that? She was like, well, they just got married not long ago and nothing of sort came up during their relationship, and she hadn't also seen anything like that in their marriage, so she doesn't even know, you know, what to think of that, and she doesn't even want to think about that because she doesn't think that that's actually what has happened to him. Okay, so 48 hours, right? Sunday evening, this guy shows back up. This guy shows up, and I was no longer in a house by Sunday, so she called me and said that he came in 2 hours ago and they've been talking. I was like, okay, where did he go? She was like, he said that he wanted some time to think and he just wanted out, like he just wanted to go out of the house and think, and he just didn't want, you know, to be in the same space with her while he's thinking. I was like, thinking about what? They're like, well, they're about to start a family and he just felt like there was going to be so many responsibilities. There was going to be a dad and he just needed to like sort all those new feelings in his head. I was like, I'm not going to lie, this doesn't make sense to me. You two live comfortably on the island, in Victoria Island, in Lagos. You two have great jobs. There's space in your house. So if he's like, oh, I want to think, I need some time to think, he can actually go into a room, inform you, go into a room, lock himself up and think. And even if he wanted to think, why would he just like leave without telling you where he's going to? This sounds weird to me, but you know what? I don't want to be involved so much. Since he's back, we thank God. You guys have your conversation. If there's anything like you guys need to trash it out and move forward from this. So that was where we left the conversation that day. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 months later, my friend calls me again and said it has happened again. This guy has disappeared again. This time it was during the week. I think it was on a Tuesday. It was on a Tuesday, and she was like, he's not back yet from work, and I've been calling him, his phone is switched off, I can't send him text messages. I've called his family, they're like, you know, I think you guys have something that you guys are not sharing with us and we want you guys to just resolve it. I'm not saying that family was not involved or anything. They later came, but they were like, it seems there's something between you two that you guys are not telling us and we don't want to be involved in it, you know. But as a concerned family, they actually came around again, and basically we waited, we lodged another complaint and we waited. But you know, people have things to do, so we left, and then on Friday morning, this guy shows up again. My friend was like, I am tired. I don't know what to do, honestly, because he came back with the same story that he needs to sort himself out, and he has started like doing extra work just to make sure that he covers up his responsibilities. So I was like, okay, here's what you're going to do. I don't want you to fight or quarrel or anything, because you actually need a lot of information and you have to snoop around. To get that information, you have to snoop around. So check his phone, check his bag, whatever you can find, you know, check his clothes, check his closet. Just try and see if there's anything that you can find that you can use, because this is like becoming so crazy. So for some time she was checking and said she can't find anything. We're gisting every day, like, have you seen anything different? I was like, she can't find anything. And it became frequent. I cannot count how many times this guy has like disappeared. Sometimes once in 2 weeks he would just go off, and he would just go for like 2 days, 3 days, and he will not come back. Till today, this thing is still happening. My friend is still in her marriage. I was like, babe, are you sure you're not dating Lagos El Chapo? Because it's like this guy is into something that you don't know anything about, and he doesn't want you to know because he's trying to protect you from the lords. Oh my gosh. And I played the devil's advocate also. I told her that, do you think that it's possible that your husband has another family elsewhere and his family knows about it? And that's why every time this happens, they're really not so psyched. Like, it was only the first time that it happened that they were like alarmed. But after that, they've not even been so concerned or worried to call a meeting to like, okay, explain to us, your wife has been complaining, where do you go to, we need to know. are you sure that this guy doesn't have another family somewhere, and you know, he just spend some time here, spend some time there, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, that got me thinking, you know, can I actually take this in my marriage? Or, you know, there are things that people can actually take that you cannot take. It's not a deal breaker for you, but it's a deal breaker for some people. So I'm going to go right into other deal breakers that I consider essential to me, to my life. I think one of the deal breakers for me would be the conversation around kids. So the conversation about having kids has to be had before you get married. I don't know who got married without like talking about having kids, how many kids you guys are going to have and all that, or if you guys are not even having kids at all. Like, that's very important as far as I'm concerned. But it's going to be really crazy if you have a conversation about having kids with your partner and then you guys get married and the person just turns around and says, you know, I don't want to have kids, you know, or vice versa. It's going to be crazier if the person doesn't even tell you and just goes ahead to keep making sure that you guys do not have kids. Or the person can go around and keep making sure that you guys have kids. So that's like a deal breaker for me, because I want to be involved in the conversation of whether I want to have kids or not. The number of kids also, some people would be like, yeah, we agreed on having 2, I'm going to just have 1 extra one. Or yeah, we agreed on having 3, but I'm not going to have like 2 more. That kind of thing. But I don't think that it makes any sense. I think that, you know, the couple should agree and stick to the agreement throughout the marriage, you know, because it's a deal breaker. I want kids, you know, I actually want kids. And if I got married to someone who now turns around to say that, oh, I don't want kids, it's gonna be really heartbreaking for me, and I may leave the marriage because of that, because I actually do want kids. And if you're not going to like take kids, then I'm sorry, I'm out. I'm like out. You don't want children. Who gave birth to you? The person that gave birth to you is not stupid, please. The second deal breaker for me is jealousy. Guys, I have seen firsthand what jealousy can do. There's a good jealousy. It's not bitter, it's just burnt. But when somebody is actually jealous of your good fortune, of how you are making it, how you are making money, how you look good. Some men are jealous of the way their wives look. That's just the fact. Like, are you going out looking like that? Don't you know you are married? Come on, tie wrapper. Tie wrapper and cover your chest and cover your leg. Oh my gosh. So the bad jealousy is when there is bitterness attached to the jealousy. You know, the person doesn't want to see you succeed more than them. The person doesn't want to see you do better than them. The person doesn't want you to get connected to opportunities. The person doesn't want you to do things that will make you happy. Like, I'm not sure I can withstand that kind of bitterness and jealousy. I can't do that. I read the story of one lady who got a job, and the job came with an opportunity for her to have an MBA, a master's degree. The pay was good and everything. She took this job offer home, and her husband told her that she cannot take the offer because this would mean that she would have an MBA, a master's degree before him. Hey, I was like, who is this person and who are you and where are you coming from? What is your name? What do you do? State your mission. You are the real enemy I've been praying against. You are the one. You are the enemy I've been praying against. Hey, why? So that's a deal breaker for me. I feel like, I don't know, I didn't follow the story to the end, so I don't even know what the woman did at last. But if I were the one, I would take that job. I don't care how it makes you feel. I would take that job so long as it's my dream job and it makes me happy and I want to have that MBA. I want to have that MBA. I'm going to take that job. Let heaven fall. I'm not going to care about that. That's a deal breaker for me. Like, how can you be jealous of your partner, someone you pledged to love and to take care of and to protect, and your husband will get a nice job and then you will not let him rest? You're calling him every minute. Where are you? What are you doing? I hope those lucky girls, and please, lucky girls are busy. Lucky girls are very busy. Let's rest. I can't handle someone who can't handle me. How can I be looking like this? So so delicious, and then somebody somewhere will be jealous that I'm looking delicious, and you're telling me not to look delicious. So when am I going to look delicious? When? Calm down, please. Allow me. The next I'm going to talk about that is actually a deal breaker for me is actually abuse and domestic violence. Now, I'm deciding to like separate them because I want to talk about abuse separately and I want to talk about domestic violence separately. Domestic violence is actually under abuse because it's physical abuse. That's domestic violence actually. So when I talk about abuse, I'm talking about emotional abuse. I'm talking about verbal abuse also. Like for emotional abuse, I don't understand why somebody would just want to put you down. Like I have experienced that before and it wasn't funny. It makes you feel worthless. It makes you feel like your opinions are not valid. It makes you feel like your dreams are also not valid, because when you are talking about things that you want to do with your life, like you're talking about your life plans with this person will always try as much as possible to make sure that instead of encouraging you, the person will discourage you and tell you 1,000,001 reasons why what you are proposing or what you are planning would never work. This person will insult you, insult your past, use your past against you, use the circumstances in your family against you, use your current circumstances against you. I cannot imagine that my partner would be comparing me with someone else based on material things. Like, have you seen Tayo's girlfriend? That girl has money. She just bought a new car. She works at blah blah blah. She does this, she does that. She has 5 businesses, all thriving, even with her 9 to 5. That girl is hardworking. You cannot even get that because you are very lazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, why will you say such a thing to your partner? And this goes both ways, Lady would look at her husband and say, have you seen? You are worthless. You are useless. You are going out again. Where are you going to? You are just going out uselessly in Lagos, where your friends are seeing money. You will go out and come back with 5,000 naira. For who? You are worthless. You will not amount to anything in this world. Guys, I'm telling you, emotional abuse is even deeper than physical abuse. Physical abuse affects your body. Emotional abuse affects your mind. When I talk about verbal abuse also, like, how can I be having an argument with my partner and he's using like crazy words on me? Are you trying to tell me that you guys can't have an argument and the argument is actually a conversation where you guys are actually trashing things out without any insult? Like, there is no need for all those insults. Nobody has died from insult, but please don't insult me. Don't insult me. Another thing is gaslighting, blame shifting. For blame shifting, this is when like the person is actually shifting the blame on something that he did and he's responsible for. You guys are like talking about something, you brought up something that he did that you didn't like, that you felt that he could correct or something, and instead of owning up to his responsibilities, he just puts the blame back on you. So at the end of the day, you just regret why you actually even brought up that conversation. It's actually very exhausting. That's a deal breaker for me. Let's now go on to physical abuse, the one that is most rampant that everybody talks about. Hey, my daddy did not beat me. Why will you beat me? No, why will you beat me? Why? I am still struggling to understand the mental state of people who actually physically abuse their partners. And I'm not also talking about men alone. I know a lot of times women also abuse their partners, but you know why these men don't talk about it? Because they are ashamed and they feel like they have failed. They are embarrassed to actually talk about the things that they are going through. And it's not funny because they're actually going through a whole lot when it comes to abuse. Like, how can you show up at your office and then they're asking you like what happened? Like, oh, the child nearly fell off the railing, so I tried to save the child and then I fell down from 3-story building. You fell down from 3-story building, your hand did not break, your leg did not break, but you have bruises all over your face. Did you fight with a cat? Answer me. Turns out that he was actually facing physical abuse from his wife at home. It is sickening. It is crazy. Hey, let somebody beat me one day. Listen, this has happened to me even in a relationship, and that's why I always say that you would definitely see the sign. Anybody that playfully hits your head, playfully, hits you, hits your back, it pain you too, but you're like, it was just joking. That's the beginning. No, that's the beginning. Where did you think you are? What are you? Get out. Out of my life. I said, get out. There is this story that is recently trending on social media where a woman who works with the World Bank was crushed to death by her husband. Like, how do he knew that they had an argument, right? And then he came out of the house, entered his car, and he was about to drive off. And I think she was standing at his back, and this guy reversed and hit this woman and crushed her to death. The mother of your children, a bright, successful woman working with World Bank, you killed her like that. Guys, if you even smell violence in your relationship, if you smell abuse, be you a man, be you a woman, don't think you can handle it, run away. They are going to beg, they will tell you it never happen again, they will tell you that it was the devil self. Go and meet the devil to give you someone that can handle you when he comes. He comes and goes, right? You can leave. Finally, deal breaker number 1, cheating and unfaithfulness. I know people whose spouses are being unfaithful with them and they're still in the marriage because it's not a deal breaker for them, but it's a deal breaker for me. I cannot, you can't. But really, what do people really want? Some people have like really handsome husbands that have money, they are still cheating. Oh, you think it's only men that cheat? Women cheat also. In fact, before you can catch a cheating woman, it means that you are really, really interested in catching her. You are really, really committed to catching her. You don't easily catch cheating women. Men are like, you know why you easily catch men when they are cheating? Because they feel like they have the backing of society. When they cheat, they're like, oh, he's a man. In fact, in those days, it's now that women would be like, oh, he cheated, I'm not interested. They'll go and rent their own house because they are now financially free. So they'll just go and rent their own house and just go and like start living in their own house and just like avoid the man. Women, in those days, when you pack your bag and you get to your father's house and they ask you what happened, you say, he was cheating on me. The mother will tell you, go back to your husband's house. Do you mean that your father has cheated on me? Your father has been cheating on me for the past 20 years and I'm still here because I wanted to take care of you people. I cannot leave my family. I cannot leave everything I've worked for just because the man is cheating. These days, women don't take it anymore. And for men whose wives are actually cheating on them, they rarely find out because most of the time, in their wildest dreams, they don't think that their wives are cheating on them because they're like, oh, my wife is so quiet. She always goes to, women like to go to church. Women can go to church, from work straight to church, from church straight to market, from market straight home. So the man will be thinking like, oh, what time does this woman even have to cheat? And you will never hear them talking on the phone, maybe calling the boyfriend or something. Most of the time, if the lady has money, it's just one small boy somewhere, or maybe one business partner somewhere. Agbalagba. Hey! So this topic, this cheating, women, mind yourself. Oh. Don't let me open all your secrets on my channel. Anyway, cheating is a deal breaker for me, and for men, they are embarrassed. I think we need to speak up more for men, especially for genuine men who are actually, because there are actually good men out there that they don't hit their wives, they don't cheat on their wives, and there are genuine and good men who are actually victims of this, like physical violence, cheating. And the reason why they don't talk is because society feels like men should have everything in control. They should have their families in check, they should have their wives in check. And a lot of times it's not like that. A lot of men do not have that alpha male characteristic. A lot of times when men find out stuff about their wives that they cannot condone, all they just do is ask the woman to go. I've seen a lot of times where you'll be asking the man like, what did your wife do, what happened? And you'll be like, what, forget it, I don't want to talk about it, and let her just go. Like, between both of us, we know what has happened, and she knows that she's at fault, and she has to just leave my house because this marriage is over. Finally, what I'll just say to wrap this all up is that you must set a standard for yourself. What are things that you cannot take? You cannot keep enduring because you have a strong heart. You can take some things. You decide that, I'm going to keep taking this emotional abuse because my chest is strong. One day it's going to get to you. One day it's going to embarrass you. Set standards for yourself so that when you're in any relationship or in a marriage, you know that this is what I can take. Make it clear to your spouse. Make it clear to your partner. This is what I can take and this is what I cannot take. Alright guys, I've come to the end of this video. If you really enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and sound off in the comments, guys. I want to hear your own deal breakers and what you think about this topic. Okay, I need to hear your own opinion. I like reading your comments, guys, so please sound off in the comments. Let me know. Alright, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to turn on the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a new video. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.